Alrighty, so today I'm going to be doing this red orange smoky eye look using the new Covershot palette from Smashbox in the shade Ablaze. This palette actually doesn't have a good transition shade for my skin tone, so I'm going in with the shade Innocent from the Tartus Pro palette. I'm using a Morphe M533 just to blend this all over the lid as a good transition color. Next, from that Covershot palette, I'm using the shade Throwback on that same shade. Same brush, just to build up the intensity of the crease a little more. And now I'm using a denser blending brush to apply the shade Dark Horse to my crease, just to, again, build up some more intensity and depth to the crease. Now I'm going in with that same M533 brush with the shade Throwback and just blending that out before going in with the shade Nirvana on a Morphe M408. I'm just using this as a base for the shimmery orange shade I'm going to be going in with later. Okay, now I'm going in with the shade Dark Horse again on an M321. This is just a pencil brush I'm using to define the crease even a bit more. Now I'm going back in with that sort of dense blending brush and just blending everything together. And now I'm taking the shade Throwback again, just to, again, blend everything out just more seamlessly. And apparently Throwback is my favorite shade in that entire palette because I'm taking that dense blending brush and going in with it just a little bit more into the crease. And I'm going to go ahead and take that Morphe M533 brush with no additional product just to blend everything out even a little more before using my finger to apply the shade Torch just to my lid. Okay, and now I'm taking the shade Moccasin on a small packing brush just to apply that to the inner corner a little before going back in with the M533, which apparently is my favorite brush for blending. I'm using some Tarte Manual mascara, just one coat on my eyelashes because I am going to be applying false eyelashes. Now I'm using the Merle Norman eyeliner in black just to tightline my upper waterline. Okay, and I went ahead and applied some Huda Beauty lashes in Samantha, which is number 7, and now I'm going in with the Josie Maran Argan Oil Foundation in the shade Dynamic. And I'm using a Morphe 439 to just blend that out. This is a really dense foundation brush, which is going to spread the pigment around rather than removing it like a sponge usually would. And I'm going to go ahead and just pat that out with the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge just to ensure that there are no streaks or anything on my face. Now I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral. Just applying that to any areas I really need to conceal, like around my nose and any blemishes or whatever. And I'm using a just regular kind of concealer brush to just blend that out because, again, it will sort of keep the pigment there rather than removing it, and that will make it cover more. Now I'm using a little bit of the Kat Von D Whiteout Concealer just to help highlight my very pale skin a little bit more. I personally don't like the way this mixes in with the Shape Tape Concealer, so I prefer to layer it. Now again, I'm using that Real Techniques sponge just to ensure that everything is blended out really well. And I'm going to go ahead and take that same damp sponge and apply some RCMA No Color Powder just under the eyes to bake for just a few minutes, because baking really dries out my skin, which is already dry in the winter. I'm just taking a medium-sized powder brush and applying that to the rest of the face. As you can see, it hasn't even been like a full minute and I'm already dusting that off. I just like to use it to kind of set under the eyes more than bake. Okay, now I'm using the MAC Studio Sculpt Defining Bronzing Powder in the shade Delicates. This was a limited edition summer color, but they do have a bunch of permanent shades that you can use and just find one that suits your skin tone. I'm not really contouring, I'm just sort of bronzing up the cheek area because I don't like a super harsh contour if I do something dramatic on the eyes. I feel like it can be just a little too much for me. Now I'm taking some of that RCMA No Color Powder on that same sponge just to sort of carve out the cheekbones, clean up the bronzer a little bit. And now to contour my nose, I'm just taking a regular eyeliner brush, just any thin brush will work, and sort of just applying some of that powder straight down the middle of my nose to give me sort of a guide for contouring it. And for contouring, I am going to grab a Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush, which just fits my nose perfectly, and the e.l.f. brow powder in the shade Light. Now I'm using the same powder brush as before just to dust away the baking, and there's this little spot in my mouth that didn't feel like blending out. I have a little dry patch there, so just kind of working with a little blending it in a little more. And now I'm using the shade Songbird from the Becca Blushed with Light palette, just on a regular sort of angled blush brush. And something that I like to do is take a little more bronzer, just kind of blend those colors together just a little better so it doesn't look like you have a streak of blush and a streak of bronzer. Now I'm taking the Jaclyn Hill and Becca Face palette, Prosecco Pop, just popping that right on top of my cheekbones. Now I'm going to be using the LA Girl highlighter in 120 watt. This one is a little glittery, so if you don't like that, you should probably steer away from these. I'm going to spray some MAC Fix Plus on my face, just going to fast forward through that a little bit. And going in on the lower eyelid, starting off with the shade Innocent from the Tarte's Pro palette. Again, you can use whatever transition shade you want. Then I'm going in with the shade Throwback, and I'm using the M321 for all these shades. And I'm applying the LA Girl highlighter in 120 watt. Just to the inner corner. I'm going to be using the Marc Jacobs eyeliner in the shade Black for the lower waterline before using the Tarte Maniator Mascara once again. And for the lips, I'm going to start off with the Marc Jacobs lipstick in the shade Sonic Truth, just sort of a light, sort of peachy pink nude. And I'm going to go in with the Puff Sun Lip Cream in the shade Bellini. Intensify the peachiness of the lips a little bit, and then I'm going to set my face again with the Mario Badescu Rose Water Face Mist. Okay, here we have some more bad poses. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead, like and subscribe, and comment as to what I should do next. Thanks!